What's up, Tweeners? Welcome back to another Tweener at Tennis video today here on the channel. And if you haven't been living under a rock, you know the whole Novak incident with Australian government and him possibly having COVID and not being vaccinated. But it's just exploded on the internet. And as of today, the 11th of January, he just released a statement, and I wanted to give you guys a live reaction of what he's saying. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. It's nice that they added, the media needs to apologize for their disgusting coverage of the past week. Well, despite the media just covering facts. And this is the statement he just released. So, I want to address the continuing misinformation about my activities and attendance on events in December in the lead up to my positive PCR test results. So, background on this, he supposedly, on the records that were given to the Australian government when coming into the country, said he got a positive PCR test on December 16th. The next day, the day he attended, apparently, he went to an entire stadium full, celebrating his new stamp for the country of Serbia. The next day, he went to a kids tournament without wearing a mask while tested positive for COVID. And the third thing is, he went to L'Equipe, a French newspaper, and did a whole shoot without his mask. That's the background on that. So this is misinformation which needs to be corrected, particularly in the interest of alleviating broader concern in the community about my presence in Australia, and to address matters which are very hurtful and concerning to my family, even though your family has been quiet this entire time. I want to emphasize that I have tried very hard to ensure the safety of everyone in my compliance with testing obligations. For sure, I agree with that. I attended a basketball game in Belgrade on 14 December, after which it was reported that a number of people tested positive for COVID-19. Despite having no COVID symptoms, I took a rapid antigen test on the 16th of December, which was negative, and out of abundance of caution, also took an official approved PCR test that same day. So he took two tests. Okay, just to make sure. Okay, that's fine. The next day, I attended a tennis event in Belgrade to present awards to children and took a rapid antigen test before going to the event, and it was negative. I was asymptomatic and felt good, and I had not received the notification of a positive PCR test result until after event. That makes sense. That makes logical sense. But did he... The question to that is, did he alert the people from the tournament about his positive result? And did he alert the families? Let's see if he explains that. The next day, on 18th of December, I was at my tennis center in Belgrade to fulfill a long-standing commitment for a L'Equipe interview and photo shoot. I canceled all other events except the L'Equipe interview. But why wouldn't you just cancel all of them? Wouldn't you want to keep the L'Equipe or push it to later, or is that too much money and effort that they had to show? That's what I'm confused about. Would it be that big of a deal out of the safety of others? Is it that big of a deal? Let's see. I felt obliged to go ahead and conduct the L'Equipe interview as I didn't want to let the journalist down. I did ensure I socially distanced and wore a mask except when photograph was being taken. While I went home after the interview to isolate for the required period, on reflection, this was an error of judgment, and I accept that I should have rescheduled this commitment. Okay, sure. Finally, you're admitting that. That's good. I think that's good that he's going back on that and should have rescheduled. But nothing about being positive around children. Just gonna put that out there again. We're going into this with an open mind, and he's addressed the issues, and he has addressed everything so far. We're still looking for what the misinformation was, and there was some miscommunication. He did wear a mask off camera, according to him, for the L'Equipe interview. He did test negative twice and was asymptomatic. But it's just my biggest issue of not... And maybe he'll address this later. I might be getting ahead of myself. Did a pen just fall? On the issue of my travel declaration, this was submitted by my support team on my behalf. As I told immigration officials on my arrival, and my agent sincerely apologizes for the administrative mistake in ticking the incorrect box. Taking the incorrect box about my previous travel before coming to Australia? How do you... Okay. No. Open mind. Open mind. This was a human error and certainly not deliberate. We are living in challenging times in a global pandemic, and sometimes these mistakes can occur. Today, my team has provided additional information to the Australian government to clarify this matter. Okay. While I felt it was important to address my and clarify misinformation, I will not be making any further comment out of utmost respect for the Australian government and their authorities in the current process. It is always an honor and privilege to play in the Australian Open. The Australian Open is much loved by players, fans, and community, not just in Victoria and in Australia, but around the globe. And I just wanted to have the opportunity to compete against the best players in the world and perform before one of the best crowds in the world. Yeah, especially the crowd. Is that it? That's it. Okay. So. Okay. So. He did clarify a lot, which I am fine with. And I am okay with, I guess, for now. I still think I like how he communicated what happened. Whether or not this was written by him or someone of his team, I don't know. Sounds sincere. He really does want to play the Australian Open. I think he really does feel bad and really wanted to get this out there and talk about what was happening. And yeah, I think he did address everything that we talked about and what has been spoken about. He didn't say what was hurtful and concerning to my family. I don't know if that's his wife and his kids or his father and his mother and his brother who had that press conference, as some of you may have known. And I think the lady shouting at the end of the press conference, I think, really pushed this statement right here. But it does concern me. There's a couple things that do concern me. Now that we got, I think, what he got right out there, let's go with what still needs to be communicated. Even though he got the notification that he got a PCR test result after that event, did you notify the people that were in the event as well as the children? Did you notify them? Do we know that? We don't know, because the next day he talks about the shoot with L'Equipe. That's what he talks about. He doesn't talk about how he made the others safe. That's what really concerns me. And maybe he did cancel other events. We don't know what his schedule was like that day. That's fine. L'Equipe is a very big newspaper, not just in France, but around the globe, sometimes. Sometimes, what the fuck? It is a thing. It's a big thing. But you don't want to cancel on them. Shouldn't you have told them? First of all, did you tell them that you contracted COVID and that you were positive? 2, did they say that they were okay with it? It's just small details that I think are missing. Small details that make a huge difference. And he does accept the error of judgment. And just, I guess I have to call it bad judgment. Idiocy. Put a comment down below of what the word is for that. The travel declaration. This is what's weird. And he says, administrative mistake in ticking the incorrect box about my previous travel before coming to Australia. And this is what's funny, because he was found in a video practicing in Spain. Practicing in Spain before he came to Australia. So, either someone on a team didn't know he left the country, or, which I don't think that's possible, because a team like Novak's knows everything that he's doing, and everyone should be up to date. So maybe something slipped through the cracks, and they checked the wrong box. But at the same time, it's a human error and certainly not deliberate. Fine, maybe they didn't know. But we are living in challenging times in a global pandemic, and sometimes these mistakes can occur. Did you or did you not go to Spain? Did he or did he not go to Spain and travel? And what is that additional information? Is that all the... Is the additional information that he had, that was said in this, and all of those details, given to the Australian government? Are there other pieces of information that he is not telling the public, but the Australian government knows? These are a lot of questions that I have personally. And again, I try to come into this with an open mind. And there are some good things and there are some bad things about this statement. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about this whole situation. It's a very... I think this is the most that tennis has been talked about in a really long time in terms of media coverage. I think this whole situation is getting out of hand. I just want to know your guys' thoughts, and the story just keeps unraveling, and there's more to add to this story. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like on this video. Make sure you are subscribed to 29 Tennis, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching.